Welcome to Nursing 605. This is your Nurse Manager Practicum course, and this is the orientation video. So we're just going to do a brief overview of the course that will actually supplement what we've discussed in the seminars. So when we get started with the course itself, there's certain things that have to be completed before you even take off as far as your practicum experience. So first things first, what we need to do is designate your preceptor and your preceptor's facility, having that contract in place or the agreement in place in order to allow you to participate in your practicum at the preceptor's place of employment. So those are two key factors, along with, of course, completing the Castle Branch requirements. And that includes the health requirements and as well as the document requirements, your CPR card, and make sure that it's signed and that you have both sides when you submit it, and as well as your license and those types of things. Also, make sure that you have that background check completed. And if you have any questions as far as completing the Castle Branch profile, you can contact Carol Fairley and she will assist you. She's very helpful. So the other things that we need to do is make sure that once you get the agency information form, that you upload that into the course, and you can do that before the course even starts. And you'll need the preceptor data and agreement form. And I always like to talk to the preceptors to kind of get some rapport going and to really clarify what the practicum is all about. So I really try to make that connection with your preceptors, and always encourage your preceptors, if they do have questions, to reach out as well. So before you get started, you will also be establishing your learning goals and objectives, and that is something that you need to do with your preceptor. And this is where you really get the opportunity to design your practicum experience. What do you really want to gain from the practicum experience? And that's what you'll base your goals and objectives on. So let's go ahead and pop into the course itself just to kind of do a quick overview. Hold on now. As you get started with the course, of course, you need to watch the orientation video, and that again is just a brief overview of the course itself, and much of the nitty-gritty we cover during the seminar. So again, if you have any questions after you really marinate through the course, please let me know. I'm here to help you. The other thing is I've also included the Matrix for Success, which has the highlights as far as the course requirements and the due dates for different assignments, as well as a written orientation sheet that just gives you kind of tips if you prefer to read through a paper to get the information about the course itself. Just remember that Matrix for Success, I suggest printing that out so that you will be able to put on your calendar or keep that with you so you know exactly when things are due. And the other thing is, this is a self-driven experience, so even though there's due dates on the Matrix for Success, you don't have to confine yourself to those due dates. If you are having an experience, say you have an experience as far as informatics, go ahead and finish that journal that covers informatics and submit that. Don't wait until the very end of the course to submit all of the journal entries. So you want to really submit the information as you go throughout the program. And also with some of the, like the self-assessment or those types of things, you can also, if you're at a point where you want to do that ahead of the due date and can do so, you can go ahead and submit those documents. So this is a really self-driven course. It's designed so that you can actually really take a deep dive into your practicum experience and really focus on those journal entries during your experience, and then some of the assignments follow. And one of the things to keep in mind as you're moving forward, and to kind of preempt one of the assignments, is actually developing a change proposal. So you want to keep your eye out and talk to your preceptor as far as things that you identify in the practicum experience that may need to be changed. And many times the preceptors have some very good insight, and that can be a very collaborative opportunity for you. And for this course itself, we're looking at a change proposal versus actually doing a change. In your next practicum, we're going to follow through with a change project. So this time it's really identifying, doing that pre-work for change, and really diving into a change model that will help you and build those skills that are so important for leaders in effecting change. So just kind of keep that in mind, and just know that the resources are under the orientation section that have the written orientation, the video orientation, and of course the matrix for success. So if you need to reach out to me, my contact information is under the instructor, and if you have any interest in learning about my background, I also have a page here that kind of shares some of my experiences over I don't want to share how many years, but many years of experience, and also what I've done as far as in academia. So if you're interested in that, that's there. The other thing is within the course is, of course, the syllabus, and that's accessible under the syllabus tab. I do have virtual office hours, but they are by appointment because I want to meet your needs, not necessarily just come when I'm available. So please let me know if you do want to have some office hours, and I can do those via Zoom. And this is a link that you can actually access once I set up our Zoom meeting. So just know that this is here as well. Some of the key places to look for in the course itself is number one, the assignments section, and this is where you're going to submit all of your assignments. So there's drop boxes for absolutely everything that is required in the course. So just remember, the assignments tab is where you submit everything. And just remember, the first three are the things that you need to have submitted before you actually start your practicum hours. And the other thing is not only submitting the agency information, but we have to make sure that we have that contract secured. Just sharing one more time, and just remember that we need to have that information in relatively soon to get you started off on a good foot and get you started with your practicum experience. So the information for both the agency information and your preceptor information needs to be in by August the 31st. There is just a very minor discussion board here, but this is just kind of for your use. As we get closer to our closing seminar, you will be giving me feedback on specifically what topic you want to use and which seminar you're going to attend. So this is nothing that you absolutely need to do as far as a discussion board. So this is a little different than your other courses, but you can actually have some interaction with your fellow students if you would like to. So the other thing is I want to highlight is the course documents. And the course documents actually has everything that you need to complete the different requirements for the course itself. So here's where we have some of those documents that you'll need as far as the clinical agency form, the preceptor agreement, the checklist for Castle Branch, the rubric for goals and objectives. And since writing SMART objectives sometimes is a challenge for students, I have some additional information on writing SMART objectives and the structuring of writing those SMART objectives. Of course, there's the whole preceptor packet, and very often I send that out to your preceptors. So we'll be communicating about that as far as who is sending things out. It just depends who makes the first contacts, formal contacts, I should say, with your preceptor. And of course, there's the self-evaluation, the change plan, student evaluation, all the documents, the rubrics. There's guidance on using in completing the journals, which is very critical. we need to be very focused on that reflective skill as far as leaders. So that's what we're really focusing on when you're writing your journals. And there's a pretty intensive support documents there that you can kind of take a look at if you're having some challenges with writing in a reflective manner. And of course, the clinical log, you will complete that log throughout your time frame, and you will submit it when all 60 hours are completed. So as you go, each day that you complete your practicum, you'll log in your hours and basically a list of what you've done, which is very different than the journal entries. The journal entries are really focusing on what you've learned and reflecting on your experience through the practicum. And the clinical logs are more, this is what I did, kind of a checklist type thing, or just a bullet point type thing as far as the activities that you've actually done during that clinical experience. So as we move on, we also have the library guide, and this is the one-stop library shop. So this is very handy for you as you're getting literature for some of your assignments. So just know that that is here, and this is a direct link to a nursing-specific library guide that was actually formulated by Paul Worrell. And if you have any questions on doing searches, he is your go-to guy. So he is very helpful. He's very into really helping the nursing students because they really utilize the library very well, and he wants to facilitate your success. So just kind of keep in mind that he is available, and there's a area that you can click on just to email him directly, or you can always contact him by phone. And also, if you just want to go directly into the resources that are available, they're also listed here. So this is a really good resource for you as you're working. Okay, just one more thing. I thank you for your patience. This is actually the essential resources section of the course itself. So there's some links to some helpful resources that McKendree University has available to you. So just know that's within your course as well. So as we close, always remember, if you need anything, make sure you let me know. I'm here to help you, and I want this to be a really good experience for you, and we really can define your practicum based on what your needs are. So the more that I know about what your focus, what your goals are, we can work together along with your preceptor to design a practicum experience that will help you to meet your leadership objectives or goals as you move forward. So thank you so much for your time, and let me know if I can help you in any way. Take care now.